Welcome back to Thrive in the Word. You know, one thing that I really appreciate about the Bible is the Bible doesn't just give you theological answers, but the Bible also gives you practical ways in order to apply what you've been taught. You see, what religion is religion really is a bunch of knowledge. What relationship is the application of that knowledge in your daily life. And we as believers need to be applying what we know. You know, James, he said, how do you know that someone has faith? And he says, I'll show you my faith by my works. And you see, the world out there, the unbelievers, they are looking at us and they are wondering, what's the difference between these church people and these and myself? What's the difference? My son worked in a store, and he said, the worst people that come in during the week are those that just got out of church, because they're always in a hurry. They're always wanting what they want, and they really are very obstinate and really hard to deal with. And I thought to myself, boy, that is not a good witness to my son. You see, we as believers need to be loving, first of all, each other. But also, Jesus said that we need to love our neighbor as ourselves. We need to be people of love. Now, John here is talking here in 1 John, the 3rd chapter. He's talking about the love in the body of Christ. And in verse number 17, he says, I'm in the 3rd chapter, 1 John, verse number 17. If someone has enough money to live well and sees a brother or sister in need, but shows no compassion, how can God's love be in that person? What's John doing? He's bringing us to a very practical point. If someone has enough money, in other words, all of their needs are met, everything's taken care of, they have enough groceries, they have all that they need, but they see another brother and sister. Now, and notice it says brother and sister here. It doesn't say unbeliever. Now, I believe in giving charitably to unbelievers too if they're in need. But here he's talking about the body of Christ. He's talking about the church. And he says, if you see a brother or sister in need, you see someone in need, but you show no compassion. Now, what does it mean to show no compassion? Well, it means that you have no mercy. That you have no mercy on that person. If you were to look at your church, and I don't care what church you go to, all churches have people that have enough, and there's people that have need. If you were to look at your church and just say, are there any people in need here? You know what? If you have a compassionate heart, if you really know the love of God, you know what's going to happen. Compassion is going to rise up on the inside of you. And that compassion is going to go and help them in whatever their need is. You see, we as the body of Christ need to be taking care of each other first of all. Do you understand? I just saw something that I thought was incredible. There's a large ministry here in the United States, and we've just experienced a hurricane down in Florida. Well, this large ministry was in Florida, but they were first of all ministering to those who were as partners in their ministry. In other words, they were taking care of the brothers and sisters first of all. And you see, that's the way it should be. And again, the world is watching us. The unbelievers are watching us. And they're looking how we relate to each other in the body of Christ. And so John says, he says that, and again, let's just go ahead and read the whole verse number 17. If someone has enough money to live well and sees a brother or sister in need but shows no compassion, how can God's love be in that person? He asks the question, where is the love of God in that person? It's not being displayed. It's not being shown. You see, we need to get serious about showing people the love of God. Now, verse number 18. Dear children, let's not merely say we love each other, but let us show the truth by our actions. How many of you know it's real easy to go up to someone in church on a Sunday morning and just go up to them and say, hey, brother, I love you. Hey, sister, I love you. And you can mean it from your heart. But it's a whole different thing when we don't just say it, but we show it. We do something to prove it. And by the way, that's really the whole theme of what John is talking about here. It's proving to the world that the love of God has changed us and that the love of God is in us. And so John says again, verse number 18, dear children, let's not merely say we love each other. Now we need to say it, but he says, let's not merely say we love each other, but let us show the truth by our actions. You see, it's true that we love each other. It's true that we are all part of one body. It's true that we are together in this fight, that we are soldiers together. The Apostle Paul told, I think it was Epaphroditus, he said, he is my fellow soldier. You know, we're in a fight together. That's true. But are we showing it? And how do people see it? And how do people know that we're standing together, that we're loving each other, not only with word? They're going to know it because they see it. So I challenge you today. You have a brother that you know of or a sister that you know of that's in need. Just don't walk up to them and say, hey, I love you. But go up to them and show that you love them.